What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Overdose. I'm your host, Don Jaye. Today, I'm joined with a special guest. This is a special guest edition. Introduce yourself to the people that don't know.
I'm Julian Bass. I'm the Julian Bass, as you might have seen on social media. I don't go by the. It's just Julian Bass. But if you want to put the D in there and, boost my ego.
Pause.
Oh. The sounds a lot like D, doesn't it? Yeah, the. I'll say the now.
Okay.
That's probably why they invented the second pronunciation. Yeah, but I'm Julian Bass. I'm a visual effects artist, and I make things that people like, and people pay me money to make them.
All right.
So that's that.
Trent, roll it. We about to watch some of his greatest hits.
Greatest hits?
Greatest hits. Or this person says they're your greatest hits. Make it like full screen. No. It's the next one over. Yep.
I didn't know I had hits.
Hey!
Hold on. Hold on one
Theme
second.
for phase 1 is Star Wars.
So many people to say right now.
Hold on. Pause it real quick, Trent. All right. Let's see. Roll it back one time.
Not much time, but I need you to join the Jedi. Hashtag Team Julian. Grab your lightsabers, your blasters, and your best editing skills. Help me fight the Sith.
Okay, let's pause this.
Wow.
Where did these ideas come from before I even go any further?
Oh my goodness, that's a deep cut. That was a long time ago, and relative to time. But that was actually a video me and this other content creator started up this thing called the Edit Wars.
Okay.
And I think that was like the first kind of, you sort of saw a boom of like VFX creators on TikTok. And we did this thing, hashtag Team Julian and hashtag Team Josh.
Okay.
And so my side was the Jedi for round 1 and he was the Sith. And I can't stand that video now because
all creators say this exact line.
Well,
I can't stand my old work.
Well, because it was my first lightsaber ever. And I did all of that lightsaber work hand by hand, like frame by frame animation. And the last thing, I forgot to turn on, there's these things called blending modes. You switch on the blending mode to add, and it looks like it's glowing. That I didn't put it on. And so the lightsaber looks like not a lightsaber. If you see any of my lightsabers in my other videos, you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's a lightsaber. That one just makes me, I want to like.
Is it cringe? So for you, is it you was looking more so like to have fun, to make like fun videos?
Yeah.
Or was it like, hey, I'm going to put out content because I want to be hired or be in the industry, so to speak?
I mean, I've been doing this since I was 11 years old. So I had been learning visual effects, and I've been doing this stuff through middle school, high school, college. And this was like pre-pandemic. And it was, my TikTok has just started kind of going up.
Okay.
And it really just it just flowed because I always make stuff. I'm always creating. And even if I'm in like a depressive like slump and I'm like, I got nothing, eventually it'll come to me. And so I remember I got TikTok because my girlfriend at the time wanted to send me TikToks. And I was like, TikTok.
They all do that shit. They all do that shit. Send you videos and shit.
Yeah, I was like, TikTok's for kids. I don't want to get TikTok. And now I'm a TikToker.
Funny how the tables turn.
Right. And I couldn't resist because, it's a platform, and all these platforms, new and old, they come up, they come and go.
Yeah.
Vine came and went.
Yep.
And you got to kind of be hip to like when it is the new one. And the only thing that would have ever stopped me from doing it is ignorance.
Okay. Yeah. And or pride or in the ego type shit.
Yeah.
Stubbornness, I guess.
Yeah.
For you personally, did you, once you start to see a big change in your numbers of TikTok, did you take it more serious and you started posting more stuff? Or how did that go up?
Yeah. I've never been the one to stress myself to post.
Gotcha.
It's only ever come up when I have like, when I like am contracted to post something and they're like, hey, Julian, you're behind. And I'm like, oh, my bad. But besides that, I think one of the beauty to what I can do in VFX is that it's always typically engaging, and they can always kind of hit. I can literally tell you like the type of video that will get 1 million views every time I make it.
Okay.
And
from your perspective or any video that you may watch?
From my perspective, at least with regards to my content, every single video that is like a Ben 10 video or a visual effect that like ties into a cartoon property always goes off. Okay. Always at least 1 million views from that. And it's just because it's engaging, it connects with people's like childhood, and it's visually, you know, stunning. It's different than seeing the same dance by a different person over and over again.
So for you, when did the money actually start coming in? 'Cause on this podcast, we like to talk about money. I'm sorry, wealth, health, relationships, and then overall mindset. So I guess we can start with money real quick, because you said something about a contract about 20 seconds ago. For you personally, did someone approach you and said, "Hey, I want to sign you to do what?"
Yeah. So I first started getting paid from this guy who would send me new songs. From he like kind of worked with I think Columbia or maybe Atlantic. Okay. And he would send me new songs, and he would be like, "You got a video for these?" And that was sort of how I got into like the rhythm of making videos. Wow. And so I would get like a list, and I'd go, you know, this one sounds funny, this one sounds cool, and you know, I'll make a video to that. And so that came actually after this whole Edit Wars thing. Yeah. When I had about like 500,000 followers, probably. Okay. Maybe like 400K or so. And he would pay me like $500 like for one video. And
damn.
Yeah, at the time,
he said at the time.
At the time it was damn, but now it makes me feel like I was getting
ripped off.
Yeah, ripped off. Okay. You know, pennies on the dollar for the stuff that like people, I mean, advertise. Like, these companies, they can spit money out. They're like, yeah, whatever, kid, make a video, you know. But the value in what I can do comes from the fact that it is more tailored commercially than, you know, if I was like a food content creator, I would have been only able to do food stuff. Got you. You know, but you know, tech companies and even the food people are like, you know, you can do visual effects for anything, and I can make a commercial that'll live on their platform without even having to like use my, you know, followers and numbers as the way to sell myself. 100%. Which is great, because now I don't have to worry about like, oh, I gotta post, oh, I gotta, you know, do a publicity stunt to get like likes, and I don't have to worry about my numbers because the value is in the content. Yeah. And
how long did it take you to make this content? Because I did say down to 500, but I don't know how long it took you to make that type of content.
It depends. I can be a hard ass on myself. Okay. Because I want to get it right, and even with things that I think are like perfect at the time, and even things that I'll look back on, I'll be like, how did I even do that? Okay. You know, I'll forget the technique because most of it's trial and error. Yeah. Sometimes a video will take just one night, and some of the most complicated ones on my TikTok are just, you know, a video that took one night. Okay. And I was literally doing Snapchat videos like, oh, guys, I'm on this part of the video. Yeah. And then there's some that take 5 months. 5 months for a video? Not even for the video, for like a 2-second snippet.
Wait, what the fuck?
Because, and like I said, trial and error will take you down a dark path. And
you wanted those.
Yeah, well, and I wanted to get it done. And hot topic. I was deep faking Will Smith's face. Oh, okay. Onto mine, and I didn't have.
What is that for the people that don't know?
Oh, deep faking. So you ever wanted to steal somebody's face, but legally? You basically use AI to train different, I took like 100, interviews of Will Smith, and it'll take all the frames and like he's making all these expressions and stuff while he's talking. It'll take all of that and use that to train a face model to match the expressions on my face. And so that's like the simple part of it. Yeah. But it takes a lot of computing power to do that, especially in a timely fashion. And when I first tried it, I tried it on a Mac without like a proper graphics card or anything. And it
didn't work out.
It took 5 months. And the biggest thing, I remember I got this, I got sent a tweet or a DM on Twitter. And I was like, oh, who are these guys? They were like, hey, we heard you were doing a deep fake. Would you like a computer? And I was like,
a whole computer.
Yeah, a whole computer. They were like, well, we'll make it. They made computers specific to, to the
Yeah.
work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And these guys from Puget Systems, they were like, here's the computer. They were like, you don't have to like do an ad or anything. Just, if you love it, say some nice things. The nicest thing I could say is it took that 5-month job and made it a 2-day job.
See, damn.
And the beauty of hardware and getting the right things to support your workflow is like something I severely overlooked.
So I gotta ask you now, looking back on that, if you were to go back on that, or for someone that's doing the exact same thing in the same situation that you are in, would you suggest to them to maybe save up money and then get the hardware, or just still try to make it happen regardless?
I would still go for it because I learned how to deepfake, even though it took forever for it to be final.
Yeah.
But I got to learn all the different ways. And it's funny because when you get something wrong and you want it to be done faster, you'll explore all the different ways.
Yeah.
And so I felt like if I had been able to just do it done, and toss it over my shoulder, I wouldn't have learned as much as I do, or I wouldn't know as much as I know now about NVIDIA even. I wouldn't know, the value in graphics cards. I wouldn't know about how AI works and how it trains deepfakes and like instant nerf and like style GANs and all these crazy things that I didn't even know were possible.
And now that you learn because of that.
Yeah, they can generate faces that just from nothing that just don't exist.
Wait, what? Meaning like they can
that.
okay, I get you.
They can generate a human face.
Yeah.
And it'll look like a picture of somebody, just like,
Yeah.
And
that person never existed.
Never existed.
Gotcha.
It's just a robot.
That's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's crazy.
That's a little crazy. Not gonna lie to you.
The tech is crazy.
For you personally, when did you actually start seeing a change from just having the funness versus you on deadlines and you actually making money, and it's the switch between the two?
Yeah, the switch happened. So I had that video, that tweet that sort of skyrocketed the account.
The tweet or the video?
So there was a video that I tweeted, and the tweet is the thing that blew up. The tweet got 25 million views. I was on Good Morning America. I was like on TV. Yeah, that was.
So hold on. No, let's stay right here for just a second.
Okay, yeah.
So
I'll bring it back.
So for you personally, Twitter was the thing that actually propelled it over.
Yeah. Well, Twitter was the thing that propelled the business side.
Okay.
It's interesting because. Yeah, I mean, you go on TikTok, it feels like almost every video you see is like somebody new has like 20 million views on a thing. It's like, how have I never seen this before?
Yep.
It's just like you'll go to their account and it's their first video ever, and it just happened to be like a random funny thing.
Especially girls that be twerking, doing thoughty shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, just whoever.
Yeah.
And going viral on TikTok doesn't necessarily have the same audience as going viral on Twitter. On Twitter, you have those like people in the film industry who are active on Twitter. You have your directors. You have who helped me here, the CEO of Disney. Bob Iger was the one who replied to that tweet, and then just everybody who I could have ever named and mentioned and known and watched was just under that in those replies. It was a moment. It was a huge moment. That same day, I remember Hamilton was dropping on Disney Plus, and in entertainment on like the trending tab, my face
was just right there,
right above it. And I was like, I was so stoked for Hamilton.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I'm right there on
the
same. Right, yeah.
So for you, how long ago was this though? So I can get a time.
This was the 4th of July in 2020.
Oh, so all of this stuff happened fairly recent.
Yeah, and it feels like it's been 10 years.
Damn. Okay.
But after that video came out, and after like the Aftershock, I got reached out to by agencies, and that's when everything changed as far as work.
Okay.
Because I didn't know who these people were. I was like, I got emails from UTA, WME, ICM, and CAA, which are apparently the big Hollywood agencies.
Oh wow!
And I was talking to Matthew Cherry at the time because before I got Twitter in 2020 of April.
Yeah,
April 2020.
So you got that shit recent as well.
Yeah, I only had Twitter.
Oh, and then actually, let's take a step back again. How many followers did you have before it blew up on Twitter?
Like a couple hundred. Like I mean,
a couple hundred, and it still blew up. Damn.
Yeah, and I think this is why I tend to mention the tweet rather than the video because I did post it everywhere else.
Yeah.
But the tweet said, if you can retweet this enough times that Disney calls, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Got you. There's the context.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And that was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, come on, Disney is. No, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
But they did.
Yeah.
And then, an ensuing like writing deal came out of that, and I landed at ICM. I had meetings with all these, these agencies, and from that point on, it was just like they procure the work, they find the campaigns that are running, and they send them to me. They're like, "Do you want to do it?" And I'm like, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's also when I learned that $500
was not enough.
Was not enough.
Gotcha.
It wasn't even close to enough.
Damn.
And then I moved out of my parents' house.
Damn. So I'm seeing a whole big change from this. So for you personally, is this like your full-time thing now that you focus all your time and energy towards, as well as has your mentality changed to be like, this is more work now than it is fun now?
I'm able to separate the work from the fun.
Okay.
Certain campaigns are definitely very fun though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing. Because it's not like I work in an editing bay. I used to work actually at a news station as like a motion designer and a VFX artist for them.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
Damn. Okay.
Like I was doing VFX and I was like, wow, I finally get to like do the job that everybody's been like, oh, you'll be so great at this. And it sucked. I was like, oh, I'm in this room all alone.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the boss with the stack of papers. And I loved all the people in there. Everybody in there had like Emmys and stuff. They were all great. But I felt like I was the youngest person in there. And I was like, hey, you guys should try doing this. Mm-hmm. And like as soon as they like found out that I could animate stuff, they were like, oh my gosh, gold mine.
Yes. Yep.
And like, let's just try to, revamp our entire, like, they had me creating lower thirds and templates for them. And like, they made me.
They had you working. Why?
Well, they made me make templates because they wanted these resources even after I left.
Yes. 100%. As it should, actually.
And it just went right over my head, like how valuable that was.
Yeah.
And basically the gold mine that they had at the time, which I was splitting between work and TikTok for the first time ever at that moment. And so, now if you look at my account now, it's like ads.
Damn.
There's
You're
so
making that
much
money.
of it. Yeah, there's so much.
Okay.
And I feel like the people who follow me definitely realize that. And I haven't really been doing a lot of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But that's also because I don't really want to be an I don't want to be like a TikToker or an influencer.
Oh, you don't want to be like an influencer?
My real passion is like long form content, movies, TV shows, writing, and VFX is only the thing. Is only something I've learned.
Yeah.
In
to
order
get you in there.
Yeah, to supplement the things that I've made, and it was born out of a necessity to try to make it look the best it can
possible.
be.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. No, I got that. Okay. Let's play some more of his video. Then I'm gonna get some ratchet questions.
Okay.
Because I got some ratchet questions for you.
Hashtag Team Julian.
Have you seen this yourself?
I've never seen this. I didn't know this existed. Actually.
Copy break.
I wonder what it. Watch this. Oh man, I remember this. This was one of the $500.
Oh, that was one of the. Okay.
On my mind, I want the groceries. My cookies in my blood like some potpourri. I'm just trying to get the M's, trying to get the cheese.
You like that?
That shit was hard. Ain't gonna count.
Absolutely. I don't even know how I did that. This is another one of the 500 like the little song from this wasn't even VFX. I just did like a
Fuck, I cut. Yeah. Okay, pause. You said that one of those was a $500 or a video that someone paid you for?
Yeah, so those last two ones actually were song promos.
I get it.
Right,
Okay,
so it's
got
the guy
you.
he sends me the stuff, and
Yeah.
actually the one that blew up, the big Twitter tweet one was another one of those. It was for Watermelon Sugar. It was for the Harry Styles song.
God damn. And so for you personally, if they get like more views than you expected, do you go back to them and say, hey, I need some over on that?
At the time, I wasn't really even concerned with it. 'Cause
Okay.
I had a job.
Yeah.
I was working at the news station, and I was like, yeah, it's $500. I could use this to like, travel or get something nice, or
100%, yeah.
It was just something on the side that I didn't think would ever really become something as lucrative as it became. And I felt like if I wanted to focus on trying to get my money's worth from that guy rather than seizing the opportunity of the CEO of Disney over here,
you're going to choose that.
Yeah. I mean,
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, keep your money. I'll go over here and, create longevity in my career.
Okay. So for you, now time for some ratchet relationship shit.
Ooh, let's go.
All right. When you started to see a change in like, I guess the money coming in, the fame or the recognition, etc., did you start to see a change in the women and relationships and things like that?
Not really. And here's why.
I'm about to say, wait, what?
Yeah, I know, right? Here's why. Because going all the way back, as a kid, I was never really like the popular, like I wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
So I didn't really, I wasn't like talking to girls and stuff. I was charismatic. I could hold a conversation. I have no problems. But like, I wasn't getting around.
Okay, got you. Me either.
And well, I was like, whatever. I think it builds a confidence in myself, and I think
character development.
Yeah, and it helps. It helps me, sort of navigate now when I feel like I look a lot better than I did back then.
Yeah.
Because I get to pay attention to these things now, and match my clothes. Because dude, as a kid, I was
I'm about to say, what the fuck going on?
I was the kid in middle school who wore the all neon outfit.
Okay, gotcha. It's getting a better picture in my head.
Yes,
okay, gotcha.
I was that kid. And everybody called me the human highlighter, the incandescent idiot. The all.
Well,
the
look
things.
at him now, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
All right.
But fast forward, did things change? Not really, because I wasn't ever in that space. I was always in my own room. And but I do remember I went on a date once after, sort of like relatively after like this the
blow up.
Yeah, July 4th. And I went on a date with this girl, and we went to the Mall of Georgia. And I remember we went into this Macy's, and there's like the shoe section, and there's this guy, like big line of people checking out shoes. And he goes, "Hey, are you?" And I was like,
Oh shit.
"Yeah." He was like, "You the guy with the edit? You make the videos?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I saw you on TV." He started just talking.
Yeah.
And the girl I'm with.
Oh shit.
I was just like, I didn't tell her. Like that was the other thing too. I don't mention it, and I don't have to now. I have a girlfriend now, by the way.
Okay.
So, if you're watching this, I love you, Tanya. Just letting you know that I didn't forget. I don't want to like talk about this and just like not mention her, and then she just texts me like,
So what's up, picture? Yeah. No, I got you.
But no, yeah, I mean, I was talking to her before that ever really happened. So the people who I was around as well, I think of like just the change in like women and people around you. I also think about like my friends, like
100% friends and family too.
Yeah, none of them really were like, oh, you can spare some change and like yo, put me on, and nobody asked me for anything. They were just happy for me, and I'm glad that like I surrounded myself with people who were like that. Yeah, and who could really just praise and like let it go. Yeah. I've never once been asked for anything from my family, and I do my best to give, and Okay. But I'm extremely lucky, because that's not the case with a lot of people. I really lucked out. But it's also a bit of a mindset thing too. So it is in your control if you're if you're watching.
It is. Roll it.
Rolling.
I think this is the one I seen.
And you know, the one thing.
Hold on, pause that. You say what?
The one thing you don't get with the YouTube compilation is that these videos loop.
Yeah, true.
These videos loop, and that's.
He's like, I need my appreciation to make this. I want y'all to know I make these videos so they loop around.
Yeah, so that's another thing. You know, when I talk about like the formula to like getting 1 million, that's another one. Like the Ben 10 videos, all got 1 million views at least.
Damn.
And it's because it's like, first of all, you got this bright light coming from my wrist, so it's like, okay, somebody's gonna watch the video to the end, and they all loop around, so
yeah,
you'll watch the video over and over again to see the loop, and that like ticks off the algorithm, and it's like, they're watching, the watch time is
over
up,
and over and over again. Yeah,
so those loops and stuff are super easy, because I'm just hiding a cut in the middle of the video, and just starting and ending on the same frame. That's why it looks like a perfect loop. But I'm not like,
hold on. Hold on. You be speeding by these gold nuggets. All right. So for anybody that's watching, that's why for content creators, what would you say are some tips and tricks to actually make, I guess, more people watch their TikToks or bigger TikToks, etc.?
Yeah.
And that was one of them. That was perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the perfect loop is definitely something that, like, you know, in the age of like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, everybody's trying to do like the short content now. They love the loop because that'll, even if you don't like the video, you're gonna watch it again because you're gonna be like, did it end?
Yeah, you don't even know. Yeah,
you're not even gonna notice.
Yeah,
and even if you do notice, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, I want to see the cut now. You're gonna try to find it. You're gonna try to, you know. And it's funny, I'll get these comments. They're like, you know, I've been watching this for 20 days. Like,
the fuck, trying to find it. Yeah.
But that's a great tool to like help boost. And what I was saying was that, you know, I don't really. You could do the hard part and like really try to reposition everything in the room to like match.
Yes.
And like, boom, like hit the loop. But I mean, as with that video, you know, like when I transform, it's a flash, right? Those are two cuts. I used to stand in one spot and put like pens on my heels so I could go change outfits and
then stand right back where you was.
Back there. And it's just like it's basically, that effect is just a wipe, like a screen wipe up. And I just put some light over like where the border was so you didn't notice.
Okay.
But I've done that effect like maybe like 8 times for different things. And
have you noticed that if you do videos that don't have loop versus that have loops, that they much better?
Yeah, loops always perform better. Okay. The other thing too is, you know, I'm not really. I don't hit trends. Sorry, excuse me.
No, you're good.
I don't hit trends exactly at the time that they come out. I'll be lucky if I get to, because VFX take a while.
Yeah.
But I think if you can't do that, then try to be a trendsetter. You know.
I like that. I like that.
It doesn't serve you to go to try to hit trends late because people will see it, hear whatever sound they've already heard a million times. Like, if I made a Will Smith smacking Chris Rock video right now, everybody would roll their eyes and scroll past it because we've already seen
thousands of it. Yeah,
thousands, all these different edits, and I was like, man, I kind of wish I did one. Then again, I was like, I think we could drop it. I think we're done here.
I think we're good. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's why. I mean, nobody was doing. Who's doing Ben 10 content? Like Ben 10 is just a, you know.
Is that one of your favorite shows to watch?
I loved it when I was a kid. I miss Ben 10. I wish they could give like a faithful, like, I know we don't need to give everything live action adaptations. However, you know, a lot of like old Cartoon Network, you know, story driven Cartoon Network that was like, you know, linear shows instead of, you know, like regular show where it's like random stuff every day.
Family Guy.
Yeah. The linear shows, like, they have so much character development, so many arcs, so many things that you can really use in a movie.
You watch anime?
Yeah.
Favorite anime of all time?
Of all time?
I gotta know. if anybody watch anime to come on the show, I always gotta ask you this question.
Yeah.
If all animes, I gotta preface it.
Yeah, go.
All other animes disappear. That's the only one that's left.
Oh, if they all disappear,
Yep.
that means like it has to be like rewatchable.
Yep.
My answer will not change. It's Attack on Titan.
Okay.
I love Attack on Titan.
Respectable.
That was like one of the first anime I watched, and I don't know if you know, but like the first season dropped, and then they didn't like release the second season until like 4 years later.
Yeah.
I was in middle school when I saw the first one, and I rewatched it like 2 years ago, and I was like, wow, I missed a lot. I missed a lot. I don't know if you see the shoes that I got on, but they're custom Attack on Titan like.
So yeah, I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah, they got Aaron Yeager and the Attack Titan on the like bursting through the Nike swoosh. Yeah.
And do you
you
get?
can see it right there.
You can see it right there. Do you get any of your I guess ideas from the things that you watch?
Yeah, definitely. I think I did an Attack on Titan video, or I've done a couple. But you know, I take from the things I like. From the superheroes I enjoy. You know, when Spider-Man. Oh, that's a big thing too. I guess I got to bring that up too. When I did the whole tweet video, I was in. It's called Favorite Heroes, and so I was doing all my favorite. That should be in the best of Julian Bass. If it's not in there, they're wrong. It's not.
They're wrong. Okay, got
they
you.
Lied.
Okay,
but I was in a Spider-Man costume, and everybody was like, "Hey, he looks like Miles Morales," and I was like, "Okay, first of all, is it because I'm black?"
I think I seen that video. So no, I think you actually kind of did a little bit.
Like, and I played into it a little bit, but it's like everybody was like, "Yeah, costume is mine." I'm like, they're not gonna just do it just because you say so.
Hey, they might if enough people say so.
Yeah, that's true. They'll at least give me a read.
Yeah.
But it's something I never asked for, but I play into that as well. You gotta sort of sometimes pander, and I know.
No, true.
I know it's like, be yourself and, do the thing.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now. Fuck
but
that.
The people know what they want.
Yeah.
And if you want to be an entertainer and
you got to entertain.
Yeah, you got to entertain. There's some things that you kind of have to give up. And it should, and I love Spider-Man. So it's no biggie for me.
Yeah.
I love Spider-Man. So, you know, when people are like, I remember I watched this video of this, like, it was a duet. It was a kid. And he was watching the Favorite Heroes video, and he was like screaming out the characters when they would come up on the screen. I was like, oh my god, that like I that's what I get to give.
Yeah,
you know,
okay, I get that.
Yeah, and it's
so
profound.
hold on, stay right here. I like this.
Yeah.
So for you personally, what is that thing that keeps you going to keep making the content? Is it the money now that you have, or the contracts, or is it still that like the feeling that we were just talking about?
Yeah, I have enough money. I don't need any more. I pay the bills, and that's, and every once in a while I will indulge. But but that's just a fortunate side effect of doing the thing. I create because I have to create.
Okay.
I'll go insane if I don't create, and a lot of times there are things in my head that won't leave. That'll just be like it'll be like a metronome.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over.
Until you get it out.
Until I get it out.
Gotcha.
And I remember, this is why I sucked in school. I was like good at tests, and I was like, I could pass and, do whatever. But I remember an entire semester at Georgia State, I didn't go to a particular class because there was a show that was in my head that I had to get on the paper, and I wrote
Gotcha.
episodes, and I wrote the entire first season of the show, and failed the class like an idiot. So I'm not encouraging people to do that, but that's like a testament to like how strong this can be sometimes in my head.
Okay.
The other part that compels me to put the content out, because it's kind of enough for me to write it,
Okay.
It's enough for me to like, make the video. There's some videos that I've made that I just don't even post.
Yeah.
They're just in a file somewhere, and I bet they would. People would love them.
Hold on, let's stay right here for just a second, because I want to remember this moment, because I want to talk about this when we do the late night show of having the ladies, because a lot of times they say dumb stuff like, oh, I post thirst traps because of this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm in my head, because I look good. And in my head, I'm like, why you can't just take the photo and just keep the photo and just look at it versus posting it online. So I want to save this moment in my head because that's a great thing, segue to go to them. But for you, go ahead and continue. My bad.
I don't feel, I wasn't huge into social media, and I don't feel this huge inclination to
post and be out there. Okay.
Right. Does that mean I don't appreciate attention? No, not
I
at
think
all.
everyone does.
I love commanding a room. I love, I love being funny and doing stuff, and everybody loves that.
Yeah.
But I also just love to perform, and I love to do the thing that I've been doing my entire life. And like I said, I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm sitting at home getting depressed.
So for you, it's like a therapeutic outlet, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an outlet. It's a release. TikTok is great. Like, the reason why it's great is because it's a playground. Any new platform that comes up, it's a playground. I wasn't starting TikTok to get famous. I was starting TikTok to just post, I do VFX. Like, I wanted to practice VFX and put out some videos and just like kind of see how they do, see what people think, and people are like, hey, this didn't look right because you didn't do this.
Yeah.
And then you're able to, the best part about like the virality and like the For You page of TikTok is it'll find its audience and then you formulate a community.
Yeah.
I've met so many more visual effects artists, and for the first, 7-8 years of me doing VFX, I knew nobody else.
Damn. So now you get to network. Now you get to talk to them. Now, okay.
Yeah, and it forces you into that. Of course, like as a kid, I could have gone to a forum and like met people online that way, and like, but not everybody knows to do that. Not everybody knows to seek that and knows where those places are.
Yes.
And I thought I was the only kid who was interested in this stuff, and
turns out not.
yeah, I get to see people who are inspired to do it from me now.
So for you personally, let me see how can I word this correctly. So here we go. For you, is it important to actually build a community? That's the first question. And number two, exactly where are you trying to go? Because I know earlier in the conversation you said that you was just using this as an outlet to go to somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Where ultimately do you want to be?
I want to be, ultimately, I have projects that I definitely want to have made. Okay.
Like directed?
Yeah.
Director?
I don't think I want to be a director anymore.
Okay, goddamn.
It's funny because the funny thing is a lot of people outside looking in don't really know like the chain of command in a lot of productions.
Gotcha.
And when they get to set and they see a director actually directing for the first time, they're like, oh, that's not what I thought.
They do.
They were like, why isn't he touching the camera? It's like, well, because there's labor unions, and unless you're in like a certain guild, you can't touch the camera.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
They'll find you. Like, you can't even. There's directors who will go and like join like who will like take intensive courses and things, and I know there's like requirements you got to meet, but I think maybe it was like James Cameron or one of these people. They just needed their hands on the camera. Mm-hmm. And they had to go through this huge process because they're doing big union projects that, wouldn't allow them to touch the camera.
That's crazy that you're the director and can't touch the camera.
Right. And so even for like bigger projects too, like I got the chance I was a production assistant on Lovecraft Country. Mm-hmm. And that shot here in Atlanta, it was fun. It was great. And I got to meet, the director of the episode. His son was actually a production assistant too, and he was like super into basketball. I love basketball, and so we hit it off. And I was like, oh, I like to ask people, how'd you get here? You know? Because some people will be like, well, I had a friend of a friend who got me the job on set. It's always a friend of a friend. Nobody ever has a degree in film and works in it.
Facts. Hold on, let's stay right here too. So anybody that watches back on this and that wants to be in the film industry, can you say that part one more time?
Yeah, I'm. Let me say this the right way too, because I feel like I was a little mean to the people who spent money on film degrees.
No, if it's real, it's real.
The truth is, you don't need one.
Okay.
And
yes.
I used to hear that from people all the time, like, "Oh, you don't need a film degree." It's like, but I was still going to college, and I was like, "But why am I here?" Because you got to find out what's more valuable than that degree, and it is the connections that you can form in these, courses.
Networking,
right?
Yes, and building community, yes.
Yeah, big time. And it wasn't even a connection from me. It was my mom who knew a stunt coordinator that she went to college with.
Damn.
And I mean, if I didn't, if it wasn't known to my parents that I was into this stuff, they would have never made that connection. And ask the people around you. There's people. As somebody, you know how many films are made? You've ever seen the credits on a Marvel movie? You know one of those people.
You will, yeah.
You know somebody.
You gotta know somebody of a somebody of a somebody.
Right,
yes.
Yeah, and they'll be able to like point you in the right direction. And you know what you got to do too?
What?
You got to go deep into the credits because those people, don't hit up Chris Pratt.
Yeah, of course not.
He
Of
ain't gonna
course
respond
not.
to you.
Yeah.
But if you hit up like the visual effects artist, like head of like a company, they'll reply on like LinkedIn or something. Nobody's like asking for
Hold on, this is some gold. This is some gold again. Okay, hold on. So you saying if you want to be a part of that community, etc., then hit up the people that basically not getting the attention, I'm guessing, from the movie.
Right, because they have time.
Yeah.
They have the time to, help. And you got to be gracious. You can't just be
of course, 100%.
Hey, yo, give me a job, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You gotta, ask them, hey, I'm trying to find my way. This is where I am right now. And, I'm in school or whatever. And that is literally what I did. My dad pointed me to that direction. He told me to, get LinkedIn, and he was like, just reach out. And he asked me, he was like, what do you think they're doing right now? And I was like, probably nothing,
Yeah.
They're not like on a press tour, they're not occupied. And so I think, there's been people who have like DM'd me and they'll be like, oh, I didn't know you would respond. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm not doing nothing. I'm behind a computer, bro. Like, I'm not doing much. But I did that before I got the job at the news station. I did that. I sent out like 10 messages on LinkedIn to like people, like heads of visual effects companies.
And did anybody hit you back?
All of them did.
Dang. Okay.
All of them did. Of course they did. And if you want to be like a cinematographer, don't go for the celebrity cinematographer. Don't go to like Spielberg as a director. You gotta find like a movie that you like, or a show because they have like a new director every episode, and reach out to those people because they're in it and they're working their way up too.
Yep.
And hell,
and if you could, they're gonna probably try to help you out.
Yeah, and for all they know, you could be the next big thing.
Yeah.
And they could help you out, and they'll remember you, and Hollywood's small.
Yeah, and it's a win-win situation.
Small. Hollywood is small. There was one of my agents, former agent. She ended up moving to a different agency, but everybody knew her.
Dang. Okay.
Everybody. They were like, oh yeah, she used to walk. Take my kids to school. I'm like, what?
What?
It would be crazy stuff. She used to walk my dog, and yeah, she used to be like my, she used to get my mail or something. It was just like it was always some little thing that, oh yeah, I remember her. She organized this thing for me. And I was like, wow, like an impact like that is stronger than anything else.
So I'm gonna summarize really quickly, and you tell me if I'm wrong. So far, for you, it has been basically honing your skills yourself, and then letting everybody know your skills, and then reaching out.
Yeah,
pretty much is basically the whole gist of everything. Okay.
Yeah, and it's. Think about it like this. I have these projects that I want to make. Those are my goals.
Yeah.
Right? That's my goal in life. And I kind of want to be sustainable in film, but like, I can do whatever. I have social media now to like kind of be the thing in the background.
Yeah.
How do I accomplish that? You could sell the movie to a studio or you could make the movie, and you have to gather a team of people. You have to gather, you can't gather a team if you don't network, if you don't show your skill, if you don't have the skill. Literally everything you said is the perfect formula to get a group of people together and make a movie. And oh my gosh, I wish people would like pay more attention to like older processes of movie making, and apply that to today. Because when you look at like somebody like Hollywood Shuffle,
who's that? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, if you're a film person, you're like punching me in the face. Black icon in film. But Hollywood Shuffle just made the movie.
Yeah.
They just made the movie for, pennies on the dollar. They used to do these all the time. Blair Witch Project, pennies on the dollar. And you always hear the story, yeah, it made like $15 million at the box office. It's like, dude, they spent $1,000 and made $1 million.
Yeah.
And you have all of that technology in your pocket now.
Yeah. I've
even
seen
have to try.
I've seen movies done on iPhones that look better than movies done on these cinema cameras.
Literally.
Yeah.
And if you have a story, tell the story. If you have a team, get the team. You can do it.
Okay.
Just do it. And it's funny because I'm like, why am I not making a movie right now?
Yeah, I was just about that. You go to the place where I'm about to ask before I even ask, so then you just keep going. Because I was about to ask for you personally, because I know you yourself. We were talking about it beforehand. You're more of a perfectionist. So for you, have you still kept that mindset, or are you more like, if it's good enough today? There was a quote. I forgot who was it by, but there was a quote that says, it's better to be good today than to be perfect next week. So for you personally, do you still keep that perfectionist thing or no?
I keep it in certain areas, but I've learned now to trust people in their own specialties. Because, before, when you're used to like kind of the run and gun guerrilla filmmaking, you get so used to doing everything yourself sometimes. And then you're like, I don't know if I want to let this person
go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need a second opinion. The best stuff I've ever made has been with other people. And I can tell you if I lost my memory of like which projects I made, I could tell you visually whether I made it alone or with people. Like it's the difference in the quality is so apparent because it's full. It reaches out to more people. More people resonate with it, even especially as a writer.
Okay.
Especially as that's like the biggest thing that comes up because I have a limited view of the world. I don't know what you know. You don't know what I know.
100%.
We haven't experienced the same things. And if I go, yo, this guy should climb this mountain, and then another person goes, he should climb the other side of the mountain because it's more dangerous. I would be like, really? Is it more dangerous? And we're like, yeah, look it up. And it's a whole thing. And you just yes and to perfection. And so, yeah, why am I not making a movie right now? Because I'm in a bit of a pipeline. I'm closer than most now because of my tweet to being able to sort of pitch these things a bit easier.
Okay.
Which I have done actually. I made a show. So
Talk that shit.
Yeah.
Talk it.
I made a show.
What's it called?
It's called Behind the Screens.
Okay. And where can people watch it?
It's on my Instagram. It's also on Facebook. Facebook bought the show that I wrote, and it's about I interview people I go through 4 different genres of film, and then interview a different person from a different department
Of that. Okay.
right. So for action, I interviewed the stunt guy. He just worked on like Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi series, stunt coordinator and performer. For fantasy, I met up with a guy from Legacy Effects. For sci-fi, I met one of my like biggest VFX inspirations.
Okay.
And for horror, I met with a director because, horror is a lot about suggestions, and there's a lot that goes into directing horror films.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, it's. I think one of the things that I kind of hate about it is that it exists on Instagram, because there's these 10-minute episodes on a short form platform, and not a lot of people are going to spend time
On that,
to watch it there. However, if you would like to, please. But the thing is, this is a show. This was a non-union show. You remember what I was saying about like you can't touch the camera? I got to do everything on the show, and they needed me to do everything on the show. We had, of course, our full cast and crew and everything. But I wrote it. I did the VFX for some of the shots. I was the talent. I did the interviews.
They wanted you to be Superman.
Yeah, I wrote the whole thing in a night, which was pretty sick. And then they were like, "Hey, we can't really do this." You know what's so funny? What? Gosh, Will Smith keeps coming up. He was supposed to be in this show. He was supposed to be like a funny cameo, like because I wanted to put a joke about it and just be like, "Haha, this is Will Smith."
Yeah.
And they were like, "We can't get him," and I was like, "Okay, that's fine." They were like, "He wants a bigger role in it." And I was like, oh, really? I don't think that's a problem for me.
Yeah. I'm saying shit.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But they ended up, I was already in LA. It was my first time in LA. I'd never been. I've only been there once, and it was to film the show for 2 weeks. And we're at like a dinner, And I was like, I rewrote the first episode. Here's like here's the rewrite. And I rewrote the first episode into a time loop. And I feel like I gave too much of my all into this show, you know?
Yeah, see, that's the nugget I wanted to get to.
I feel like for something that not a lot of people have seen, I put Easter eggs in every episode. I put like running jokes.
So you want your appreciation. You want your
well, I hit all these things in there, and I wrote this, and I made sure that it ended with like a meaningful quote from me. I just wrote an ending to it that like actually encompassed the entire series and wrapped everything up. And I was like, wow, this really feels like something that should be elsewhere. You know?
See, well, let's not do that because we might get, you know what I mean? They could be like,
no. I'm more than happy that it was even made.
Okay.
So that's the other part of it, right? Mm-hmm. Remember when I was saying, I don't care about the views.
Yeah.
Well, I really don't, because now I have something that I can show to people when I'm like pitching my next show. I'm like, take a look at this. And it's only 4 parts.
Yeah.
And it's only 40 minutes.
See, for the people that's watching, it's not the views, it's the impact.
Right.
I think us creators, we care about impact and influence more than the views and numbers type shit.
Right. Yeah. And that's, the content will speak for itself.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that I got to meet all the people who I met with on set. And like I was saying, you know, Hollywood's small. You got to leave an impact when you get on set.
Yes.
And everybody was so happy with like the workflow and jazzed with the production, because typically when they do these, they actually did a couple of other Instagram shows with some other creators. And typically it's supposed to be an unscripted show. And
Okay,
it's like,
I gotta ask. You probably already signed some contracts and shit.
Go for it.
But I still gotta ask. The pay of these shows, are they significant enough for you to like really relax and then focus on these shows? Like, give me just a ballpark. Like, obviously, you probably signed some contracts that you can't say numbers, etc.
I mean, I could say numbers, maybe.
Okay, for the people that's watching that want to be content creators, that want to do what you're doing, is it worth doing?
Yes, it is very worth doing. And so when originally, and I'll tell you guys this, originally the show was supposed to be 11 episodes, and they brought it down to 4. And I was like, of course, my agents and my legal team and everybody's on the back end, like, hey, is this going to mess up with the pay? They were like, actually, we're going to pay you $20,000 more than we were going to pay you.
Damn, hold on. $20,000 more, so it was over. Hold on.
Yeah, it was $20,000 more than
the number.
Than the number, which
Got
is over 100.
Damn.
$1,000.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow. It makes no sense to me, though. That's the other part. I don't feel like it's worth all of that. But I say that from my own naivete.
Yeah.
And not really fully realize I'm only like 30% of the way to really fully realizing the value of what I do.
Gotcha.
So of course it's not going to feel right to me, but this is coming out of their pockets. They know that there's value in this. And if somebody's willing to pay you to do something, then you believe them.
Yes, 100%.
Believe them.
So before you got this deal, what was your numbers of your social media and of, I guess, your network fluency, I guess, that made you get this deal?
This was something that we
and that's gonna be my second last question.
Like how you
so basically if someone themselves wanted to doing the same footsteps of you, and I'm guessing that's a very different pinnacle than what you was used to before. How does someone get there? What do they need to have themselves to get to that point to be able to even get approached to make a Facebook show or Instagram show or whatever?
Yeah, you got to make some. You got to write something. You got to put all your ideas on the paper, and because imagine Facebook comes to me and they're like, "Hey, you got a show for us?" And I'm like, "No." Well, then you don't get the deal. You don't get the money. You got to put everything you have on paper. And never throw anything away. I remember I won a film fest using a story that I wrote from in elementary school. It was a stupid story. It was a story about this like homeless guy who gets superpowers and fights aliens, but the aliens were being chased by space pirates, and so they have to team up with the aliens to fight the space. Like
that actually sounds kind of dope. But go ahead.
And it made no sense.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I gonna do this? Use this for? I was in high school. I was like a senior in high school, and I still had this full set. There's like 32 pages of just like comic, stick figure comics of that story. And I condensed it into 1 minute and put it in the middle of this like story where this like kid is pitching an idea to his favorite director.
Yeah.
And so we were able to make that his story. And like it's just using those old ideas in creative ways. And that won.
Yeah, okay.
We ran the table.
Wow.
They actually had to change the rule that you could only win one award at that award show.
Okay,
so for subsequent year.
So for you basically saying just put it out there.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think yourself, just put it out there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you're a creator, create, please. Like, don't. If you want to get these deals and you want to get these things out, you got to put stuff out there. Like the internet is your best friend. You got to put stuff out there. My agents are the people who really procure that for me. The
agents was the people who got the deals of the money and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. The agents. I mean, they only get paid when I get paid. They get. Also, by the way, never pay an agency. They are supposed to take a percentage of your gross.
Okay.
There's like this agency that goes around. They're called like 99 Talent.
Okay.
Not real. I mean, they're real. But it's like if anything.
Hey, shots fired.
No, I'm serious.
I'm flipping this shit.
I remember when I got an email from them. I was like, wow, I can get an agent. And I went to their little like audition thing, and they were like, all right, so you're gonna pay us a flat rate of $400. And I was like,
nah,
I don't need a $400.
Yeah.
Before I even get the jobs, before I even book a role.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, well it pays for like getting your headshots. I'm like, I got an iPhone. I got a light in my house. I can take a headshot. And I did that. I mean, I took the headshots myself. But like, don't ever fall for that stuff. Like, there's no shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. There's no shortcuts to this. It can happen for some people very fast.
Okay.
But I mean, I have to remind myself, it wasn't July 4th.
Yeah.
It was
all the time you spend learning about it.
10 years old.
Yeah.
And then 9 years working on it.
Yeah.
And brings us to, 2019, 2020.
Say less.
It's
years.
Years.
So it's not overnight. And then my final question, where can they find you? And then what is next that you want people to know about?
So you can find me, the Julian Bass, everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, technically. Isn't that weird? Snapchat has their own like little content stuff.
Yeah, they do actually.
TikTok, of course. And I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Macro Base, but I'm definitely going to change that to the Julian Bass at some point. And a Twitch. Oh, I have a Twitch too. I stream.
I have a Twitch.
Oh my God, I do everything. But yeah, I stream too. I think... I don't know if I have anything that people should like look out for that's coming up.
Well, what about the show, the Instagram show?
Oh yeah, I mean all the episodes are out. If you want to see that, please do watch it. It's got some pretty nice trailers and like content that goes along with it. So yes, there is. Thank you. There is stuff that's coming up. The part of the deal from them shortening from 11 episodes to 4 was that I had to make 40 reels, Instagram reels.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's still not bad for that amount of money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I hate the work because it's taken me entirely too long, and I would definitely renegotiate that. However, there's lots of content there for you guys. And I was there for 2 weeks in LA for the first time. Lots of fun stuff happened. And you can get a behind the scenes look of behind the screens.
Somebody said, do you have any merch?
Do I have any merch? No, I'm making merch. So I'm a digital artist, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of the first things I did was just draw with my hands.
Okay.
And so I want to take some of the anime inspo and make some merch out of that. So be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout. Okay.
Be on the lookout specifically on TikTok because I'm gonna be posting some more there. Oh, yes. Okay, this is the thing.
All right, tell me.
If there's anything you got to look out for.
All right, let's end it with this one. Yep.
I'm doing the No Sleep Till Film Fest on April 29th. So there will be a
Hold on. You're going to be, okay. No sleep till film. What is that exactly?
Yeah, Agbo, the Russo brothers production company, is doing their second annual No Sleep Till Film contest, which is a 48-hour film competition, which means that on April 29th, they give you a prompt and you have 2 days to make a 3-minute short film.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a Twitch thing where you just don't sleep for like 24 hours.
Oh, no. I mean, I probably could live stream it and like not sleep. That would be sick. But I'm going to be doing a short for that. So that's probably the next big thing.
Okay.
Because I've been, these past few days I've been studying and reading, and I've watched hundreds of 3-minute short films.
Damn.
And I've dissected every little thing that I hate about them.
And now you're about to do them good.
Now I'm about to change it. Because everything has a formula.
Yeah, 100%.
And
a format, yes.
Yeah, and there's always room for improvement.
Okay. And then your Instagram, one more time.
My Instagram, the Julian Bass, that is, or the, to avoid any confusion. THE, the Julian Bass, Julian, not EN. That's, when people say King Julian, it's spelled with an E. So no, I'm not that guy. JulianBass, like the fish. Thank you very much.
All right, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Hit me, Trent. There you go. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe. I will put his Instagram below as well. Y'all check him out. Thank you again for thank you again for being on the show and coming. We're gonna have a late night edition. Have some ladies on. Talk about relationships. It's gonna be spicy. Let's get it. Peace.